as there's been a lot of talk about beam size and appropriate beam size of throwers, I wanted to do a video on comparison between these two, but I also wanted to discuss beam size. Now, this has the sft40, so you can see this is definitely one of my favorite lights, the new V2 of the Cyansky K3. And then, of course, got the separate switch and then the rear tail switch for mode memory. You've seen my videos on both the Gen 1 and Gen 2. Hopefully you have. If you haven't, you're in the right place. And then the recently visited uhi40 emitter by Nitecore, made by Nitecore, put in Nitecore. These are both, they have sort of what could be referred to as a telescopic night beam profile, which is pretty useful, but it's very easy to get a beam that is too wide. And what I'm going to suggest to you is that this one, as nice as it is, MH25 Pro, it doesn't look quite as useful as the Cyansky's beam profile, which is less wide and better to use for throwing in the mid-range. Both of these are good mid-range throwers, 700 meters, on the getting longer range, but not quite long range. I put anything 800 or over as a longer range thrower, just FYI. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to jump out and we're going to look at them at mid-range distances. I went to as dark an area as I could find. Sorry, this is the best I can do. But let's see how they compare. Okay, we're going to start first with the Cyansky, and we're going to see that wall over there. And we're going to go around the back of this factory here. For those of you who wonder why I'm out here, my friend and I have a security company in the area that we're trying to build up, and I'm helping them out tonight. So very good about 700 meters. So you can see if some motherfucker's over there at the edge of the building. Very useful beam. Now let's try the same pattern with the MH25 Pro. God dang, these things are rolling like hell. Okay. Whoops, I have it on low because I've been using it as a truck light. Still a nice beam, very long, comparable to what we saw, but a little bit wider. A little bit wider. Very good scope. Kind of makes you feel like you're using a zoomie in a certain respect. And then if you're using that, you can see whoever's messing with it, if any. So now we're going to try both, and we're going to do our best. It is cold and windy out here. Cyansky. And there they both are. So you can see the Cyansky's a little more narrow. When you go to scope, having a not too tiny hotspot, as I've said before, is very useful. But you can get too big. And if you get too big, it makes there be less throw. So I think the Cyansky got it just about perfect. I would have made it probably a touch more narrow if it were me designing the light, but very hard to tell the difference other than that. Pretty impressive. So anyway, hope this has been helpful. I thought it would be a neat little comparison between the two. Both very good lights, both very useful for duty, security, police, first responder, firefighter, you name it, hunter. Very excellent lights that you can both count on. So you can count on. Have a good one.